uh, it was New Year's Day, and Kitty had come home with her, was it her first husband? And it was my mother's birthday on New Year's Day. And so I thought it would be nice to have a brunch. Good for you, Tim.
Pardon me?
Good for you.
Yes.
But don't fall. She has a video camera.
Uh-oh. So she'll document the fall if I shall.
Yeah, the last one wasn't documented.
Sorry to disappoint you. No falling today.
We hope. When Tim was a student at Rhode Island School of Design, he was making a film on the roof of the school, and he backed up and fell 3 flights.
Oh, whoa.
And that's been a problem ever since.
I guess.
Anyhow, I was going to have a party, a big party, and everything at lunchtime, or sort of a brunch with Bloody Marys and so forth, on New Year's Day. And people who I had invited hadn't told me that they were coming, and then they call up after all the liquor stores were closed saying, oh, they were coming. So I was panicked that we would run out of liquor, and the room was absolutely packed. And Sam Green's daughter was there with her brand new fiancé. In fact, I think she announced her engagement there. And she was engaged to a young student at Wesleyan who is now governor of Colorado, John Hickenlooper.
Okay.
And so anyhow, I looked down, and my heart sank because there wasn't an inch to move in the living room. It was packed with people. And all of a sudden, I heard a voice saying, someone's car is parked illegally on the curb. And I looked up, and there was a policeman there on the balcony. And then one of the guests said, oh, I guess that's mine. And the policeman's voice changed completely, and he said, oh, throw me up your keys and I'll move it for you. And the guest was the mayor. And
Mayor Marino, you said?
Mayor Marino, who lived on Acer Drive, and right around the corner. Well, you know that wouldn't have happened to you and me. And
My car would have gotten towed. They wouldn't have even told me to move it.
Tony was a Democratic mayor, and but the wonderful mayor of Middletown happened to be Republican, Seb Garofalo. I think he was after Tony, but mayors run together. But Seb Garofalo was a compromiser. He would get opposite sides to sit down together and come up with solutions. It wasn't as doctrinaire, paralyzed into 2 points of view as it is now. Nobody talks or compromises. And then another mayor, I remember, and Seb was dead because he died of cancer. And another mayor lived right up Maple Shade Road, Giuliano. And he was the...
Another Seb.
No, he wasn't.
Another Seb. I said Seb. Seb.
Not Seb Garofalo.
Seb Giuliano was also named Seb.
Oh,
is all I
yes,
meant.
yes, yes. I thought you meant another compromiser or getting people to work
Oh,
together. But he
just the
didn't
name.
do that. But I was giving a big party at Daffodil Time outdoors. So I invited him, and he came with his daughter, who was a teenager. And I said, "Oh, are you going to be an environmentalist?" And he said, "No, she doesn't like bugs." And so much for that. I don't know what she's doing now. And whatever. Oh, we had a garden club member who was mayor, Maria Holzberg.
Oh.
And she was very decisive, very good in most of her policies. Not too good at working with people out of her realm of thought. And I'm not. She would decide something and announce it the way it was going to be, and she didn't. She didn't last more than one term. So I've found that there are good conservationists and bad conservationists on both sides of the aisle.
What makes somebody a bad conservationist?
Ones who believe in individual rights over the rights of all the people who use that property or enjoy it. And I've found good conservationists, people who think about how we can make this work for everybody. And one good conservationist I would like to mention that I've worked with over the years and admired is Ron Clattenburg, who has been the Democratic member of the council for quite a few years. That was probably a vital person.
No, it was just some silly reminder.
Uh-huh.
So Ron.
Ron Clattenburg is going to retire now.
Okay, from Northeast Utilities?
Well, he's retired from Northeast about 5 or 6 years ago, and he became head of the City Energy Commission.
Right.
And but now Marcy, his wife, who is a naturalist employed by the schools, wonderful woman, and who has taught the kids to love nature. Marcy is retiring, and so they're going to move in a year. He's told the city he's not a candidate, or he's told the Democrats he's not a candidate for elections. He's been on the council and head of he was head of the Conservation Commission. And I remember we were looking at a piece of property when he was still in charge, and he looked kind of startled when he met the owner. And we were all standing around, but maybe at a little distance. It turns out the owner, when he shook Ron's hand, had put some money into it. And, of course, Ron, we never had responded to anything like that. And we never were conscious of who was a Democrat and who was a Republican. In my letter of resignation, I was dictating to Lizzie, And I said, I wish to retire from, this is to notify you that I'm submitting my resignation to Conservation Commission. And I have been on it for many, many years. I can't even remember who was mayor when I was appointed. And the Lissy finished the sentence for it. And I said, we've never thought about, or she finished the sentence to say, under Republican and Democratic mayors, they have never supported the Conservation Commission. But then we decided I couldn't say that in my letter. So I asked Matt, I'm asking Matt to forward it to each member of the Conservation. And I'll be interested in how many snorts I get when they read the revised paragraph.
Snorts? No snorting. There will
Well,
be no snorting.
some people will think I'm not telling the way it truly is in the first paragraph.
Well,
But
you might not need to
it used
spell
to
it out.
be that the oh, is that a bumblebee?
That is a bumblebee.
Or what wasp? If it's a bumblebee, that's probably all right.
Hopefully he'll just go to the flowers.
Those flowers are from my periodontist. That's who sends me flowers today. I guess my days with men are over. Because he said we've been together for something like 40 years. So, let's see, I got to think of another political story.